Then we have a big ass gong whenever we close a deal. We ring that gong. So we had a couple bells today, which is a good win, but not as
Nice,
exciting
nice.
as my girl Desiree's win.
Talk about that. I wanna learn about your deal, Desiree.
Well, it's not as big of a payout as I would like, but it's my first deal and I got it under my belt. So I'm going to go with that momentum. This was the one that had an unreleased lien. So I was
Oh,
really
that one
afraid it
ended
was
up
going to.
closing.
Yes, sir. Like I
Hell
told her,
yeah!
call every day, call every day. And then I called the recorder and they said, oh, it was recorded yesterday. So I said, can you send it to me right now? And I sent that myself to the title company. And they're like, we didn't see that. Where did you get that from? And so then we closed 2 days later. So
There you go. Remember what I tell you
Nice.
guys,
So
no one wants these deals to close as bad as you do. Even if you think the seller needs that money, the title company, the buyer, whatever, you become that transaction coordinator and you have to get the deal to close, even though it's the title company's responsibility to get this and blah 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 blah. You step in, you put out the fires, and I promise you, nobody wants these deals to close as bad as you do. So
for sure,
kudos to
for
taking
sure.
initiative, getting that satisfaction of mortgage, sending it to the title company.
thank you.
That is what gets deals done. So that's awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
congratulations. Desiree, I want to rewind a little bit, and if you could recap for us, how did you find this opportunity? Where did you get this lead from? And what did you put it on the contract for? And what did you sell it for? What's the profit you made on this deal?
Okay, so my husband did some driving for dollars. He lost a couple shifts, so he spent all day with my sons doing driving for dollars here locally. We were gonna do Memphis, but he had a couple days, so he just drove around and got like 100 houses. And this is one of the houses I just started calling. And then so that was like beginning of July. Then I sent a handwritten letter. I know that's not efficient, but that's what I could do. So I did a handwritten letter. She called me a month later. Then a week after she called me, we signed it for 81,743. And I ended up having to JV with somebody on it because it was just ended up being really tight. It's a total gut with a hole in the roof. So it was awful. But I ended up, so my half ended up being like 2,400. Um, but he found me a really solid buyer. But that opened the door. So this turned out to be like a really solid wholesaler who's also a general contractor who's up in Nashville, who has major connections. And he saw that I was willing to work hard, and he has like let me into his circle and has sent me deals to find buyers. And so now I have 2 scheduled for closing, and I've got a third on the way for October. Which
Hey,
they're all JVs, but like one of them's 8,000 my cut. So yeah.
There you go. There you go. Listen, my mentor always taught me, listen, Domar, the small deals pay the bills. And so do not turn away from the small deals. It's better to make something than nothing. And so $2,400 on your first deal, that's okay. Guess what? It's a reality check. You now believe and have proof that it is possible, that you can do this. And now the deals are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as you go, and be more consistent as well. Now that you built the machine, you're going to continue to build a machine so that you make it come in like clockwork. So kudos to you. And already you got more deals coming in the pipeline.
Yes, can I say something about one of those deals? This is a deal that my new partner, I guess, had worked out, and he asked me to be the boots on the ground, so I went because it's closer to me. So I just went with it, not knowing if there's gonna be money in it for me. I found 3 buyers. My buyers were the only ones that showed up. My buyer ended up taking it, so then I got to JV on it. So that's gonna be like
hell
5,000.
yeah.
Yes, I didn't do very much work, so it's a smaller amount, but I didn't have to do as much work. So
That's
That's
awesome.
amazing. All
Yeah.
right, guys. Well, everyone else on this call, give it up for Desiree.